Hello, everybody. Well, welcome back to this slugfest that is about to occur. It's Combo-sama. Hope you enjoy all the fun times ahead here at the Dragon Shrine. Man, this is gonna suck. Anyway, quick item description. Our boss we're about to come up to is the Ancient Dragon. A dragon so old that it was alive before the dawn of time. TM. Its power has grown to godlike proportion, and it resides in the dragon's shrine as a deity. The few undead who survived their journey long enough to meet its council... survive long enough to meet its council. That's a really weird sentence. Let me read that again. The few undead who survived the journey long enough to meet it seek its counsel in their quest for a cure. See, there's no punctuation there. That's what fucks me up. The ancient dragon willingly obliges its supplicants and harbors no ill intent towards visitors who show proper respect. But provoking its wrath will result in a swift and unimaginable retribution. Swift is one way to look at it. I actually think it's a long and arduous retribution. Very annoying, cumbersome, and slow at that. With very little actual creativity in the fight. But I'll let the footage speak for it, to some extent. In fact, I might not talk for a good, probably the next 5 minutes of this video, because I'm going to fast forward through some shit, because my strategy doesn't change very much. I'll switch weapons towards the end, but to be honest, what you see is what you get.
Oh man! Oh god! Oh man!
stop it!
So, kids and kittens, the only advice I'll give is, according to Souls lore as obvious, use lightning weapons on a dragon. Whenever possible, always use lightning on a dragon. It's never not a good idea. Secondly, two-hand something fast. Here, again, I've been using it for a good portion of the game. The Hide Knight Sword. Good durability, natural lightning imbue. Good for this fight. Don't bother with blocking. Don't summon anyone. Especially don't summon anyone. Do this yourself. Second, when the dragon flies up in the air, I won't assume its gender. As soon as you see it fly up, head in the direction of its tail. You'll notice that my pattern consists of sitting at its big toe, chopping twice, rolling away, going back to the big toe, chopping twice, or 3 times if I'm feeling greedy. You start to notice it'll try and hop itself up, start sprinting and following its tail. Follow the tail the entire way, it'll plop down. What do you know? Here we are. Chop, chop, chop. And that's it. If it wasn't for the health pool of this boss, he would be just a pair of boots now. He is nothing. He's merely annoying because you get hit, you die. I imagine on Noon Game Plus, that fire isn't a 2-hit kill like it normally is. It's probably just a 1-hit kill. Just like how this, for me, is a 2-hit kill. I imagine it's a 1-hit kill. Slight artificial difficulty there, but hey, it's Dark Souls 2. What do you expect? At least you got this gigantic box to fight him in. If they pulled a Capra demon and shoved him down a tiny hallway, this fight would not happen. It would be non-functional, stupid, and awful. Not unlike fighting Shin Akuma in Tekken 7, which I am still salty about. Okay. So I'm working on a video talking about the tragic tropes that are used in Tekken, and yeah, I'm a little salty. Just a little bit. Anywho, upside, we're starting some really nice and fresh content for the rest of this video after this. I'm very excited. I'm going to do a little bit of legwork, but other than that, we're going to go into the DLC, ladies and gentlemen. I've been very excited to retread some things, now that I'm older and a little bit wiser to how Dark Souls 2 will fuck with me. So I'll be glad to make some new mistakes, some old mistakes, and figure out my own behaviors from here on in. Here's hoping. God, this is a long and cumbersome fight. Ugh. It's probably the most souls you'll get out of any fight in the game, though. If I remember correctly, the Ancient Dragon drops like 120,000 souls. Which is pretty good. That leveled me up, I think, twice at this point, because I'm either soul level 180 or soul level, like, 185. I'm up there. Because, you know, don't stop leveling up. Don't do that. No. Grind until you're done. Clear the area, and then, bonfire aesthetic, clear it again. Which, by the way, we have not used. I have not used a single bonfire aesthetic this entire playthrough. I don't intend to. But the best part about this fight is that it'll just completely cement that Vendrick will be a cakewalk in New Game Plus. Because after you kill this one, he'll also drop a giant soul, hinting that this is not, in fact, a dragon that's been here since the dawn of time. As the item description from the official guidebook that was made at the vanilla release of Dark Souls 2 verbal tirade aside, would suggest to you. This is, in fact, a big old fake boy, who I did not think I killed initially. Here we go. See, he'll give you Petrified Dragon Bowl and Soul of a Giant. Not Soul of an Ancient Dragon, Soul of a Giant. So yeah. After that, we went back to the Shrine of Almana, to that area where that Dragon Rider Knight was guarding. just to find a little chair. The soul of the king. This is Vendrick's soul, everybody. It was in a chair, as it turns out. You just had to kill Vendrick and get all that stuff out of the way to get it. So after finding his soul, you'll also find his armor in a chest here, including his crown, which is very good. We like crowns in this game. Just to do a little bit of light reading here. Do. Soul of a king, soul of Vendrick, king of Dranlaic. This great soul beckoned the dark, overwhelming the king. Perhaps the king, who once ruled the world of men, was a lacking vessel to the throne. Use the soul of he who would link the flame to acquire numerous souls, or create something of great worth. So, I ultimately ate Vendrick's soul in this playthrough, because I did not feel that I would build towards how it works. It's an interesting item. The item's attack power increases according to how many souls you are currently carrying. So the more souls you carry, the bigger the big number for an Ultra Greatsword. Which sounds cool. It does. It sounds cool, and his Greatsword is standard fantasy Greatsword. It's not overly designed. It doesn't look like anything from Square Enix or any shit like that. Not quite like that one dragon. That Dragon Wing Greatsword, which I kind of like because it's goofy in that way. No, that sword, it's pretty par of the course. It's the same one he used in his boss battle. Now, you might notice that we've gone back into the Black Gulch because I hate myself. And while I do, it's actually because after collecting the key that we need... Oh, I remember double checking in here for anything illusory. And then going, nah, of course not, stupid. You did that like 7 parts ago. There's the Far Flame. And after passing that primordial bonfire, there's this area with serpents. This, as it happens, is the key to the first part of the DLC, which we'll try to do in chronological order to release. I think, of how they were released in the DLC formatting. We will do the DLC before we beat the game because I want the absolute true ending. The positive, absolute, most supposed ending. Yes, that's what we want. That, and there's an item, I believe, in the next DLC, what was it? Iron Tower? The Tower of the Iron King? Yeah, there's an item in that area in specific that completely negates the final boss fight, and I'm going to trivialize the shit out of that. So, yeah. But that's not here. That is neither here, that is neither there. We are going to go in, and we're going to open some sexy doors. Yeah, look at this. Look at this Natgatsu opening his door real slow like. Good job, Fortinbras. You've grown up a lot. Wearing your jester gloves and your pointy hood. Looking all inky-oky. Now, what I really liked as I slowly trudged my way through here, getting a little bit of atmosphere, is that we started seeing the things that I liked from Bloodborne games, where you would go through a decrepit crypt, but as you went through, there's perfect symmetry, and then there's slant, and so it creates this offset image as you walk through some ruins that things are put together quite well, and were once upon a time very laid out. But now, once again, as we are walking through the crumbled remains of some civilization, things are askew, and it does the usual Ozymandias thing of, wow, look upon my works, ye mighty, and despair. This is what mankind ultimately would represent in the end. A crumbling mass of a system that was once so, but is no longer such. And then we get this cool-ass, nice little watercolor background. Got a ziggurat and a bunch of stuff in the back. Places we'll be going to a little bit later. And infinite chasms. Isn't it pretty? We like that. I like that. So you just descend, and if you might notice, you can kind of hear something. Sounds a little bit like a snake snoring. Oh. Hey, bud. So that's mostly that's a dragon. A poison dragon. With I want to say a spear in its chest. That's right, it was a spear that Sir Gog, not Gog, Yorg. Sir Yorg had lanced him with. So, welcome to Shulva, the Sunken City. A city dedicated to worshipping a dragon at its base, except, like all things that happen when you worship dragons, they kinda occasionally wake up and ruin the fuck out of the situation. Now, huge spoiler, and we're just gonna get it out of the way because I'm working my way around it for now. The main conflict, and it's very formulaic how this conflict is made in Dark Souls 2, is that there are 4 kings. There's the Iron King, there's Vendrick, there's the Ivory King, and then, let's see, Iron, Ivory, there's the King of the Sunken City. Iron, Ivory, Sunken City, Vendrick. Yep, these are the 4 kings. Yep, much like there are the 4 great ones, there's also 4 kings, and each of these kings had a queen. The thing is, these queens are fragments of the Abyss that were made from the corpse of Manus. When Manus was defeated in Dark Souls 1, apparently, he just straight up, broke apart like a Bionicle. You drop down a flight of stairs, and his parts gained their own personalities and their own traits. And they were their own people. So, you would end up having these daughters of Manus, in a way, that all function to spread the Abyss, to reform their power and their influence. And so what they did is they targeted incredibly powerful men and used them to bring forth the Abyss, to make the dark in its abstract and not quite well-defined form more corpulent and powerful. Now, I'll follow that idea again in a little bit, but just to let you know, I always run the stone ring that increases poise damage. These poisony hollows, because this is a poison level, because fuck yeah, the first DLC in Dark Souls 2 was a poison level. These guys give no fucks about my poise damage. They have the most poise that I have ever seen, and it is awful. It is bad. So, parry if you can, projectile if you can, or block. Just don't think you're going to win in a trade-off, because you will, but you're not going to come out unscathed, sadly. Just letting you know in case you run out of health items like I will. And I run out of health items pretty quick, just plowing my way through Shulva. Anyway, back to the Daughters of Manus. So, Nashandra is the most obvious and first, the one you'll be introduced to the first if you go through the vanilla game. And she is overwhelmingly, obviously, a villain. Again, if your human portrait exudes curse and can hollow you just by having you look at a painting, yeah, that's somewhat evil. That's bad, I would say. So, yeah. When you fight her in her true form, she literally is no longer a true humanoid, and she has a giant dark side. She uses death beams and magic, and she's just made out of dark. It is spook. Aside from her, there is also... God, I forget. But there's one of her sisters is in this DLC, and the one in the Iron... Yeah. The Tower of the Iron King. Broom Tower. The one in Broom Tower is kind of nuts. Because she's actually just an item, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, there's this funny structured storytelling to Dark Souls 2 where it's all very high fantasy, but at the same time rigidly secular. it very much implies that there is a cycle and a procedure being done on mankind at this time by the forces of the dark. Now, Nashandra and Vendrick have this dual cause because Nashandra guides Vendrick to steal the Throne of Want, which I guess in this particular part of their cycle is where the Kiln of the First Flame is being held and you have to sit on the throne to get it. I don't know, it's kind of weird, never brought up again. So she causes the war with the Kingdom of Drangleic and the Giants because he goes across the sea, pillages the Giants' homeland, and then takes the Throne of Want. The Giants cross the ocean because they're fucking tall and say, hey, get that back. And that's what they try to do until it doesn't work. And both civilizations are destroyed in the process. Yay! Happy ending! Also, you know what else I don't like about certain Dark Souls 2 levels? Areas that contritely have equipment-breaking monsters, items, or just hazards scattered throughout them. Because these fucking little buggos will just coat themselves in anti-equipment stuff, and that's a bad time. I started running the Soldier's Ring. I think I have a +1 version of it on. Yeah, a Soldier's Ring, which increases your health, stamina, and equipment load. But it breaks incredibly easily. Just sneezing in one of those things will break that shit. So we don't want that. No. And then there's this fucker. So it's another one of those, it's a version of a crystal lizard, but he's covered in those poison statues, but those are unbreakable. You have like two options to really get him. You could either flip him over by doing your armor break L1 behind him, or you could just shoot him. I opted for just shooting him because it did more damage than otherwise. But yeah, flipping him can be kind of annoying. It doesn't always work, and the result of almost getting poisoned in the process is not worth it. So that's why I try to engage in ranged wars with those poisony fucks, because they are annoying as all hell, and no one needs that. Oh, for the longest time, I've been awake. But yeah, there's some light puzzling there. The first part of Shulva's a little bit convoluted. Yeah, a convolution in a Dark Souls game. Oh, who would have thunk it? But yeah, I kind of like how vertical and maze-like it feels at first, because the rest of the area does not truly feel that way, to be completely honest. Like this whole mechanic of hitting a twisty thing and having it turn, that's kind of fun. Kind of cute. Creates a nice little bit of puzzle platforming, especially in a game that should never be reviled or respected for what little platforming exists in it, because fuck it, that movement is bad. The leaps feel good when it's definitely like a big, good, sexy leap, but yeah, no thanks. God, I never heard that noise before. That is not fun. I do not like the little chitter-chatter of these little ickies. No. There's one behind me right about now. No? How about now? Well, there's that one. And see, look! It covers itself in an aura, and the moment you get close to it, it'll start destroying your shit. Yeah, there's the one that was behind me. Big bad times. Big bad times. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Didn't have a lot of sleep last night. Usually never. So again, not new information there, but hey, it is what it is. Ooh. I just realized I've been using that shield pretty much the entire game only because I can parry with it and because it makes me get more items. Yeah, gotta like munching on those weeds just to make sure you can go through and cast your spells. To be honest, I probably should have used that repair spell first and then do more casting, but it's alright. Bad micromanagement happens from time to time. Only to find out, hey look, that goes nowhere. And I do that a lot. I do that a lot in Shulva, where I just go up things, battle through a bunch of shit, consume some items that are largely unrecoverable, and then go, oh, it was all for nothing. Boom, shakalaka. Lovely. And, whoop. Like, that was a sexy jump, and not a lot of fall damage. Yep, that was a good jump. It didn't feel good, but it was a good jump. And then there's this fucking area. I like the little shiny rocks that pop up every now and again, but otherwise they're like, dude, ambush. What kind of ambush we talking? Man, I think I just decided, oh, the bad kind. And then Big Mace Man came out of nowhere. Like the frothing asshole that he is. Oh, yes, and there's archers far off in the distance. Do remember that. Yeah, that ended up becoming quite cumbersome from time to time. As I sit here trying to play with my puzzles, only for Hollow Man to appear, to be killed, because it took him 2 years to get up. Not expecting me to just sit here and tank all the poison arrows, because, you know, when you max out how many life gems you can carry, you suddenly decide, you know, I can be a scummy asshole if the game thinks it's just going to test my patience. Cool. How about I just choose not to die, assholes? Oh, well. Yeah, good retort. But that just means I'll hide behind this geometry that's not all that great. And I'll just start swinging at you. I know, I should have brought my A game. Sometimes you just gotta tank it. Gotta feel good. Take those hits, it's okay. If they're on the ground and you're not, you did it. Ba-bum-bum. Yeah, that's kind of my mantra after a while in Souls games. I used to be like a hardcore sorcerer, but then it just turned into, well, what if I could just take my punches, though? I don't even know why I came in here. It was not worth going into that area. And aggroing little Mr. Asshole Turret. But oh well, that was my mistake to make, I guess. I always appreciate being able to see places I can go in a Souls game, and then immediately going, oh, that fall will probably kill me, though. Oh man, I should probably take a nap soon. I've got work tonight. Yep. Upside, still being tested every week for that specific virus that I probably shouldn't mention right away, depending on the YouTube algorithms. Yeah, but I get tested for it every week, which will date this video, but on an upside, I come up okay. And then, whoop. Leaves note. Hurrah for nothing? Fuck.